Welcome to this heartwarming episode of Bringing Dreams and Miracles Together. My name is Staci Swiderski, CEO and owner of Family Source Consultants. Today, we're honored to be joined by Andy, a devoted gestational surrogate on her second journey of helping to create families. Andy shares her personal reasons that inspired her to become a surrogate, the profound joy that she has experienced along the way, and the incredible connections that she has built through this process. She also reflects on why she chose Family Source Consultants as her trusted agency and how being part of someone's dream of parenthood has been one of the most rewarding experiences of her life. This episode is a beautiful celebration of love, generosity, and the power of surrogacy and bringing families together.
Welcome everyone to Bringing Dreams and Miracles Together. You know, something I love about our podcast is that we get to have real stories from real surrogates, real intended parents, real egg donors. And today we are blessed and honored to have a former surrogate and current surrogate, Andy. She's got Andrea on the screen, but she goes by Andy. She's going to share her story about what brought her to surrogacy, you know, why she chose to do another journey, and really what made us so special to her. Let's start with Andy, just tell us a little bit about yourself and just in the beginning, kind of how did you learn about surrogacy and what brought you to it to begin with?
Well, thank you so much for having me today. I'm very excited to kind of tell my story and, have any potential parents or surrogates get a little bit of insight in what brought me to surrogacy. So growing up, I had family members who struggled with infertility. So from a very young age, I saw the impact that that could have on someone. So I knew that I wanted to help in some way. If that was being an egg donor or a surrogate, I just knew once I was ready that I would be assisting a family grow. Once I got a bit older and I had my children, I loved being pregnant. So I knew surrogacy was the way I was going to go. And from there, I contacted Family Source and, went through the whole process, and it has been amazing and so great that I decided to do a second journey.
I love that. We could end the podcast here in 3 minutes because you summed it all up beautifully, but I'm going to keep talking. You know, something that I find interesting, you said from a very young age, you have family members struggling with infertility. And, that's so common. I, personally struggle with that. How did you actually hear about egg donation and surrogacy? Because that's not something that was commonly talked about, especially when we
Mhm.
were younger. How did you actually learn about it and what made you look into it further? Because some people may hear it, but not think it's for them. How did
Mhm.
you learn?
So I had family members who, doing different IVF treatments. Surrogacy wasn't that big of a topic in our household until my cousins who are part of the LGBT community really started thinking about building their families, and surrogacy is one of the main ways for them to do so. So that's where, the idea kind of started and grew.
Okay.
I heard more about egg donation, and then once you kind of hear about egg donation, I feel like that kind of blends into surrogacy a lot of the times. And so just seeing those two avenues, understanding what they each meant, at first I thought it was going to be egg donation, but then once you're pregnant, I feel like a lot of women are like, I love this, I want to do it again. Might not want to, I'm done with my family, my kids, we're good, but I want to be pregnant again.
I love that. And I love that, you have this blessing that you're giving to others, the gift of parenthood, as we call it.
Mhm.
So you talked about what inspired you to become a surrogate. So you were kind of looking into egg donation first, because we do have a lot of surrogates who started in egg donation, and some surrogates are younger and they're able to go back to egg donation. So
Mhm.
what did you get pregnant and that kind of deterred plans? What changed your mind from going from egg donation into surrogacy specifically?
I would say after getting pregnant, enjoying that whole experience, but also after having my children, I realized that I was not ready. And speaking with my husband as well, we did not want to donate my eggs for, at that point, it was just not the path we wanted to pursue. So the other option being surrogacy. So that's kind of what really pushed us in towards surrogacy.
So tell me about your first journey, your process for matching with your hopeful parents. I mean, what did you set out to look for? Kind of what was your hopes and dreams for that first match? And was it everything you dreamed of?
Mhm. I went in with more of an open mind. I knew that I just wanted to help a family, especially when you're a first-time surrogate. You're not quite sure what that matching process is fully going to entail. So I kind of went in with an open mind. Some of my biggest things were religion, wanted someone compatible on that aspect, and termination stance. So I kind of hit what I thought was major points for what I was looking for. And I was matched with a wonderful woman who she was just amazing. Her story from beginning of trying for adoption, looking into surrogacy, and just kind of moving forward and just still being there ready for her baby. We just clicked immediately, and um our journey was, it was beautiful. I don't think I could have been matched with anyone better for my first journey. She was perfect, and we just kind of went through the journey together. And our communication was there, and we were able to do all the milestones together, which was also important to me. Having someone there a part of the journey, this is their pregnancy. So I wanted someone who wanted to be a part of that, and she was thrilled to be a part of every moment.
I'd imagine, that this is where you're being trusted to carry their little miracle baby, and to have it so beautifully shared between the two of you, that seems like a really perfect first journey. So
Yes.
now you've got high expectations because you've had this incredible intended mother. You brought, she brought home her little one, and you decided to do a second journey. So what was your matching process like for your second journey? Did you decide, you knew a little bit more about what you wanted, or maybe you want to do something different? What kind of drove your matching for the second?
I had such, like you said, such an incredible first journey that I knew I wanted to help another family. Um, Having family members, like I mentioned before, in the LGBT community, I knew for my second journey, that's the type of couple that I wanted to be matched with. And I was matched with an incredible same-sex couple. They are so amazing. And then in that matching process too, I was a bit more well informed, so I was able to kind of put more out there the communication that I wanted, um, what I wanted post birth. For us, it was very important for our children to meet the baby, just to kind of a full circle moment. You see your mom
Closure.
pregnant, and you get that closure at the end. And the best part is seeing, the parents take home their baby. My children still talk about our first time, and they're like, "Oh, that's the baby that was in your belly with their mom." And I'm like, "Yes, you guys
Oh
were there. You guys
gosh.
helped let her take him home. That's her baby." And so with this journey, looking for someone who matched on those aspects, and they were 100% willing to do everything and wanting that same type of relationship. And even it was funny, they actually brought up having our children meet their baby before even I did. So I was like, "Oh yes, perfect. That's also what we want."
I think that's incredible. Something that we pride ourselves in, obviously, is our mutual matching process. We
Hmm.
don't just, line up check boxes. We really try to connect personalities and lifestyles and
Hmm.
thoughts behind just those check boxes. Do you feel like with this match with your current parents now, that kind of all aligned and your personalities meshed and your styles meshed and everything, and that mutual matching process really did wonders for you?
Oh, absolutely. When I saw their profile, it's hard to say, but it was like looking at me and my husband on paper. I was like, their personalities are almost the same as ours. So I think, our case coordinator did such an amazing job with that, understanding me and my husband and everything that goes into that, that they were able to see their profile and say, "Hey, we think you guys would work well with this couple." And after meeting them as well, it was, the conversation flowed. It was like almost like long lost friends. So the matching process was incredible. It was easy to get to know them because, we were provided with such a perfect match.
And, we really do try to aim for that first match being the kind of
Hmm.
perfect one. Did this journey meet that expectation? Was it the first profile you saw, that was it?
Yeah, the first one, and I was like, "Yep, that's it. You guys did great. I don't need to
I
see another one."
absolutely, I love knowing that. I love that. Our match specialists really want to make sure that we are going above and beyond and not just, checking boxes. You guys are going to be in this journey for a long time together. It's really important that you have similarities or you have the same desires for your journey. So that way, at least you're aligned in that regard. Are there any major differences so far between your first journey and this journey?
I would say the major difference is location. So for my first journey, she was a few states away.
Okay.
So we did a lot of like texting, phone calls, FaceTime. Whereas this journey, fortunately, we are in the same area, I think maybe 15, 20 minutes apart. So we are both very, very excited about that. The possibility of having them come to all the appointments, any appointment they want to, the ability for I'm going into labor, come down the street. Like that is
Yes,
so
that is
nice.
amazing.
Yes, it's wonderful. I loved my first journey, but having someone so close is amazing.
I think that's great. And I like that you got to experience it both ways. That's kind of lovely. So, it's really important as a surrogate, as an intended parent, as an egg donor, that we have a strong support system. Obviously, Family Source, we're going to support you. We have our dedicated support manager, you have your care coordinator, you have your matching specialist, you have so many people. But what does your personal support system look like?
I have my husband. He is my number one support person throughout everything, throughout life. That is why he's my husband.
Good call.
Yeah. So he is there for me. I get morning sickness, so he knows once I start to feel that sickness, it might be a month or two, but he's going to pick up on things, make sure our children are taken care of, they feel seen while I might not be feeling well. And then on top of that, I also have my incredible in-laws who are maybe 10 minutes from my home. So if we need that extra support, they are right there for me. And then I have my sisters as well, who are just a phone call away that, could support me emotionally, or if I need anyone here to like help me with the kids, I have so many people surrounding me to help me through the journey. I always say it's not just me going through it, it's my entire family. So we
It
all need to be
really
on the same
is.
page.
Yes. So when you first told them you wanted to be a surrogate, given that your family members had already had a history of infertility and struggles in that area, was it a surprise to anyone? Did you have to convince anyone? And then has it changed now with the second journey because they've been through it?
So for the first journey, I would say my in-laws were a bit more surprised just because they weren't a part of that part of my life. But they were very supportive. They have family members who are also part of the LGBT community, so they understand that aspect of it. And this second time around, they were almost after, the birth of the first little miracle. They already knew. They were like, so when you're
They were
signing up
ready
for your
before
next
you were
one.
ready. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, go, do another,
Yeah.
do another. I love that. That's incredible. So I just have a couple more questions. This is really to help, share your personal story, but really help others listening that might want to become a surrogate. So what words of wisdom, advice do you have for hopeful surrogates in maybe connecting with their intended parents or finding the right agency for them? Either or.
I would say do your research. I was lucky enough to find Family Source, and they have been incredible. The support system is so important to have, and I love that Family Source. You have your care coordinator, you have so many people with the agency there to help you, but you also have the Facebook group that's comprised of other surrogates. I can talk to my husband and my family members about it as much as I want to, but it is so beneficial to have women who have done the same journey as you. So I just love that that is there for me. Anyone I can, say, hey, this is going on during this process. And you have so many women saying, yes, that's normal. That happened to me. This is how I dealt with it. So do your research on what agency you want to go with. Not saying Family Source, but I'm saying Family Source.
I like that. We didn't even ask her to say that, everyone. That's great. I love that. I want to talk about Family Source, the support group you mentioned. You said that there's a Facebook group. Is there something, else that you'd like to share what they offer? Because I know what they offer, but from a surrogate's perspective, I would love you to share, other things that happen monthly or anything else to be there more than just kind of a peer group to be there for each other.
Absolutely. So monthly, you do have the Zoom support meetings, which are amazing for, if you're not here locally, you can just kind of get on the Zoom, be able to discuss things live. And then there is also the in-person support group where you can meet up and actually like connect with each other face to face and discuss your journeys, anything that's going on. And it is a private setting. So it is, confidential. You have that ability to just speak a bit freely and have women around you that support you and can, help you through any milestone. And I think the biggest part is you get to celebrate each other. That
Yes.
is the best part of it. You have these women who know the importance of like, you're going to embryo transfer. That is so exciting. Send you all the sticky vibes. You just feel so good throughout every milestone. And I think it's also important to note that the Facebook group is private. So they're only allowed, surrogates who are currently with the agency. You don't have the fear of outsiders being able to see anything, and you're able to do those celebrations, with your fellow surrogate sisters.
I love that. I think that's incredible. And it's something that we want to make sure that we always have, because while you have your personal support system, you have your care coordinator, just like you said, like-minded women, super moms going through the same journey as you, understand the difference of the pains, difference of what it's like. And I feel like you guys carry a lot of pressure when things don't go well, and you guys can share in that together as well. Not that that
Absolutely.
happens well often, but it is life. And so I think it's lovely that we offer that, and you guys are, taking advantage of that incredible resource. So do you have any advice or words of wisdom for hopeful parents from a surrogate's perspective to them?
I would say, be honest in the type of communication you want. Family Source, their matching process is amazing. There's no wrong or right way to have communication or what communication you want. So just to have that put out there so you have a solid foundation for your journey, and know that you are never, ever, ever bothering your surrogate. Reach out to them whenever you want. They feel, we feel this is your pregnancy. If you want to have a bump picture, I will send you one. I might be 12 weeks, but I am 12 weeks. You can have a bump picture. This is part of your memories, your scrapbook, whatever you want. If you want me to eat ice cream on Wednesdays because that's what you and your family does right now, absolutely. Your baby's going to be a part of these traditions starting now.
I
So
love
no,
that.
yeah, no, you are never bothering your surrogate.
I think that's so special because it is a journey. You're not in it just one side, it's both of you together. And, just that open communication and that great mutual matching to begin with sets the stage for a lovely journey. And I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your intended parents. And I
Thank
can't
you.
wait. We'll follow back and do another podcast after you've delivered this next baby.
Yes.
And we'll talk about how all of that went, the differences at the end there, and then maybe, possibly journey number 3. So,
Yes.
is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners about Family Source, about your journey, about being a surrogate, just anything in general before we kind of end this episode?
I would say, Family Source is amazing. And if you want a true partner throughout your journey, whether you're a surrogate, intended parent, even egg donor, this is the agency for you. I have never felt so cared for. And I think my pregnancy through Family Source was easier than my own pregnancy. I have, this team that are like, hey, I'm going to help you set doctor's appointments. I'm going to send you reminders. I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm like, this is amazing. So know that you have a true partner in your pregnancy if you go through Family Source.
I love that. Andy, thank you so much for taking time with me today to share your special story, celebrate your first journey, the start of your second journey. We can't wait till your embryo transfer and your next steps. And one day, hearing all about the birth of your next little miracle surrogate baby. I am always honored to be a part of these podcasts and listen to your stories. And I just want to thank you again for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.